So there's a lot going on in this world.
It's just my opinion.
Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to Sway. That's right, welcome to the channel where I'll give you my opinion, and I really don't give a flying if you agree with me or not. As always, I have my trusty smokes, my trusty Coke. And before I get started, as always, please help support me by hitting the like button, making a comment, sharing the heck out of these videos, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon so you can be notified of every time that I post a video. All right, so there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on. And for some reason, I decided to talk about it. For some reason, I decided to talk about it. And I really don't know if anybody wants to hear me talk about this, okay? You know, as you all know, with what's going on in this world, the cancel culture, and personally, I'm against a lot of the things with the cancel culture. I am, you know, it's ridiculous. It is stupid. You know, it is very stupid. And a lot of the reasoning for a lot of the cancel culture, it is very stupid. And, you know, and like you know, and people always ask me, well, you know, every time in my videos, right, what do I say about my politics, right? About politics. I always say that, not politics as a certain celebrity will say, politics. All right. I always say I'm in the middle, and on some things I lean towards the right. This is my right hand, towards the right, and some things I lean towards the left. And as of late, for a while, certain things I've been leaning towards the right, because certain things are just stupid as far as what a lot of the people on the left are doing. And that's just my opinion. Cancel culture being part of it. You know, cancel culture being part of it, you know. I think people need to get thicker skins. People just need to get thicker skins. They need to stop, you know, getting all butthurt over every little thing and trying to cancel shit. It's that simple. Is that simple. People need to stop getting butthurt and stop trying to force other people to cancel things because they don't agree with it. Not, you know, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to boycott a company, so you better boycott them too. I'm like, look, you boycott whoever you want. I do what I want. You know, you live how you live. I live how I live. See, I'm a person that I believe, okay, you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Don't force it on me. I do whatever the fuck I want to do. I won't force it on you. People that know me know that I don't shove anything down anybody's throats. If I talk about it, I talk about it, but I will never ever try to force you to believe how I believe and anything, whether it's in politics, my religious and spiritual beliefs, anything. Okay. And somewhere within the past several years, a lot of people, they're getting butthurt. They're getting butthurt over so many different things, and they're trying to through boycotts, through trying to make bills and other laws. They're trying to force other people to do just because they were butthurt. And that is totally wrong. That's my opinion. That is totally wrong. You know,
2 hours later.
You know, there are times for cancel culture to a degree, you know, and there are times when cancel culture is not the way to go, type of thing. You know, I'm like half and half on cancel culture, because sometimes it is needed. Sometimes, no, get the fuck away from it. Okay. And yeah, I'm weird. I know I'm like all over the place. Everybody knows that about me by now. But again, you know, when it comes down to my faith in God, I'm right there. I'm 100% and whatever. I love even if I disagree with you, even if I disagree with your lifestyle or your beliefs or your thought process, I still love you as a human being. I will treat you like you're my brother and my sister. And that's it. You know, we just won't agree on this one or 2 points on some stuff. You know, it's just that simple. You know what I mean? But and we need to be okay with that. You know, as a society, we need to be okay that there's some shit we're not going to agree upon.
The next morning.
You know, it happens. You know, cancel culture happens everywhere, and I think cancel culture from both sides, cancel culture from both sides is stupid. It's ridiculous. Now, what's happening now is that people are freaking out with the Dr. Seuss and the Dr. Seuss and the Mr. Potato Head thing. Okay, now I'm still gonna say Mr. Potato Head because that's how I grew up with it. But if you wanna say potato head, then that's up to you, you know, to each their own, but don't force somebody to, you know. Now a friend of mine who is extremely left, okay, he is extremely left, and I've talked about him before. I will never mention his name or anything, okay. He posted something on Facebook. Mind you, he calls himself a Christian, but he tends to not have the traditional Christian values. And he supports certain things that I don't. But again, like I said before, I believe I believe in, and he knows me, and we've known each other for years, you know, but I believe in, you know what, we all have our differences and we disagree on shit. So if we disagree on things, and okay, then we can talk about it. And if we, you know, is that simple, to at least have an understanding. The only difference between me and this guy is that I'm at least willing to listen, try to understand, and also learn something new. And many times, as I said before, this guy, he just repeats all the propaganda. He says that he does his research and all of that, and he really doesn't, you know. He really doesn't, you know. He just repeats all the propaganda shit and whatever. But anyway, it's kind of funny because, you know, he posted something. Now, as I'm editing this, I'm showing the screenshot here. And it says, it is funny watching all these people freak out over Dr. Seuss, Disney, and Mr. Potato Head. This is not cancel culture in action. Instead, it is a sign of growth and respect. These companies have realized that their products can be discriminatory or mean, and for the sake of the greater good, are doing something about it. Dr. Seuss Enterprises has decided to stop publishing 6 books, none of them top sellers or most popular. Disney has blocked a few movies from kids' profiles, leaving them under adult profiles for parents to decide if these movies are appropriate for their kids. Mind you, he misspelled there. Different spelling of there for that. Hasbro is dropping the Mister from Potato Head to make the toy more relevant to the times. Not every family has a dad, and not every person associates as male or female. These actions are not what conservatives call cancel culture. The actions of these companies show that they want to be respectful of current times, that times change, and as time changes, the morality of products change too. Now, I can somewhat agree to this. I can somewhat agree to, you know, a lot of times I don't agree with what he says, but I can somewhat agree to this. But at the same time, you have to see it on a business standpoint. Many CEOs don't give a flying fuck of the actual customer. Most CEOs and company presidents don't give a flying fuck about the feelings of the people that they're selling their products to. Disney, I don't know. I can't really say, but something like Hasbro, right? Or the Dr. Seuss thing. Now with the Dr. Seuss books, I believe with one of the books it showed a representation of an Asian person, kind of in the derogatory, the stereotypical derogatory way that they were portrayed back then. Now, many of the Asian people that I've spoken to, they really don't give a flying fuck. They really don't care. It's, then there are some that they do care. Okay. As far as the Mr. Potato, I'm still gonna call him Mr. Potato Head because that's how I grew up with it. But if you do what you will, if you want to call it just Potato Head, hey, whatever. As a matter of fact, when it came down to the Mr. Potato Head thing, it's funny how I'm just reading all of these posts. I'm reading all of these posts, and I'm reading all of these posts, and I'm seeing people argue left and right with it. Okay. And it's almost like a movie. It's almost like a movie. As a matter of fact, I kind of made a skit for it, and here you go. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know. I mean, come on. First, Dr. Seuss books, right? Now Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head, seriously. Gonna change his name. He's gonna change his name from Mr. Potato Head to Potato Head. What the heck, man? Let me tell you something. If Potato Head wants to be known as Potato Head, by golly, this is the United States of America. Let him be known as Potato Head. Lahaya. Look, I grew up with him as Mr. I'm gonna call him Mr. You know what? You are a total putz. That's exactly what you are. You are a putz. A putz. Nothing but a putz. So as far as the Mr. Potato Head thing, I don't care, Now here again, most CEOs, most, companies, let's be real, corporate America really doesn't give a shit about anybody but themselves. They about lining their own pockets. But so I, in the part where he says that they saw that their products and their whatever, it could be seen as insensitive and mean, they really don't give a shit. They don't. What they saw is that with the way cancel culture is that if they don't make a change now, they're next on the cancel culture hit list, and they're going to lose money. So they only did all of this. Let's be real. Corporate America, they didn't do any of this because they really cared about their customers. They only did this because they were afraid that they were going to be next. With the, I mean, come on. This is corporate America. They don't give a flying fuck. All right. They don't give a flying fuck. All right. And it's that simple. It's that simple, Now again, and I say this, I repeat this. I've said this so many times, and it's like I'm repeating myself over and over again. What people need to do, they need to just shut up for like 5 minutes. Okay. Stop attacking each other. Because see, and I've always said this when it comes to politics, guess what? Both sides are corrupt. Both sides are corrupt. Both sides are corrupt. And both sides are working, they're just trying to divide us one way or the other. Okay. Because if we really just shut the fuck up, stop listening to the propaganda, I'm saying as a species, as a people, right? And every government and right? It's like, Just shut the fuck up, sit down, have a conversation where everybody gets to be heard. And I don't mean in a combative and in a combative way where everybody's attacking each other, calling each other names. No, you know, because that shit is stupid as fuck. Nothing gets done. And in an actual conversation, okay, in an actual conversation where the left listens to the right and the right listens to the left. And I'm not talking about the politicians. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about actual people, okay, where they can voice their concerns and people can and just actually listen and try to explain to each other why they feel the way that they feel. Okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because you know, this is something I do personally. You know, when I talk to people that I know who have a difference of opinion than I do, who have a different belief than I do, that think differently than I do, I ask questions. I want to honestly know. And I respect everybody, regardless of what. And if I don't agree with something that they say, then they know I don't agree with it, but I respect their thought process. I respect their belief. I respect their right to have that belief. And I'll give you a great example. I give you a great example is um, a friend of mine, who's, you know, who's not LGBT plus or whatever, and they're like so far right leaning, and you know, and a lot of things I could agree with him, you know, a lot of things I could agree with him, but then, you know, when he went so far right to the point of, you know, like say, oh, each and every one of them need to be put in a re-education camp. No, fuck you, dude. No, no, that is not what you do. You know how many children have been mentally destroyed, emotionally destroyed from these re-education camps that are supposedly Christian? And no, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Now, I heard his side of it. I heard his side of it. And, you know, and he knows I disagree with him. He knows I disagree. And I told him why I disagreed with him. I told him exactly why I disagree with him. Now, the difference between me and him was the fact that I was listening to everything that he said, and I paid attention. I asked questions. And as soon as it was time for me to say, you know, I can't agree with you because he was attacking me. Is, oh, how dare you call yourself a man? How dare you call yourself a minister of God and not believe? No, dude, no. See, this is what happens when nobody is actually listening to each other. Nobody's actually trying to hear each other out. And I've been saying this on many of my videos for a long time. Damn it. This is what happens when nobody hears each other out. And I've said this many times. You may not agree with me, and that's fine. Don't agree with me. That is okay. That is fine. If you don't agree with me, that is fine. That is cool. If you agree with me, great. If you don't agree with me, that is fine. That is fine. I am okay with that. I'm not going to be all upset and butthurt because you don't agree with me. I'm not like some people who are mainstream, well-known people that I've talked about in the past who they take people to court that just because somebody doesn't agree with them. Because you know, that's fine. You don't agree with me. That is fine, man. That is cool with me. Now, you know, in my opening intro, you know, what do I say? or I give you my opinion, and I absolutely don't give a flying fuck if you agree with me or not, because I don't. You know, I'm willing to listen and hear everybody out, and and I'll give you that respect to voice your opinion and voice your thoughts and beliefs and whatever, but I expect the same thing. Because the whole point is about having a dialect. The whole point is that is, and this is like the most important part of it, about having a dialect, an open dialect where everybody can actually voice their thoughts, their opinions, and what have you. It's so that way everybody learns, like truly learns. And I'm not talking about learning. People say, "Oh, I learn." I learn all the time. No, and all they're doing, they're listening to propaganda. They're listening to the hate rhetoric from their side, saying, "Well, we should never hang out with them because about." No, no, fuck what they're saying. Think for yourself and actually have a conversation with somebody who you don't agree with, and shut up and hear them out, and ask. And they should do the same thing. Shut up and hear you out. And ask questions of each other. Ask questions. Have that dialect and have questions. And do not be afraid of saying, I don't know. Do not be afraid of saying, I don't know. Do not be afraid of saying, I don't know. But you know what? Just for you, I am willing to look that up, and I'm willing to see what answers I can find. That's simple, y'all. That's simple. That's fucking simple, dude. It's funny, and and I'll give you another example. Okay, right now is March. As I'm recording this, is March 6th of 2021. In a couple more months, and 2 more months, and yeah, pretty much in 2 more months is gonna be May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, May 5th. All right. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And I want to kind of give you a little background of this, okay? All right, y'all. So many people celebrate Cinco de Mayo, okay? And just a quick Google search and what have you, okay? And right here is now throughout the years, we were told that Cinco de Mayo is like our 4th of July. Okay, that it was, our 4th of July is our Independence Day of when we became a free nation. Okay. Now, just a quick Google search. Okay, quick Google search right here. It says Cinco de Mayo, or the 5th of May, is a holiday that celebrates the date of the Mexican Army's May 5th, 1862 victory over France at the Battle of Puebla during the Franco-Mexican War. The day, which falls on Wednesday, May 5th in 2021, is also known as the Battle of Puebla Day. So for so many years, many of us, we were told that, Cinco de Mayo was like our, like the way we celebrate 4th of July. We thought that, oh, okay, so that's when Mexico became an independent nation, or so, because that's the way that we were taught for many years. Okay. And I remember, and I'm mentioning this again. This is just to, a learning experience. Okay. A learning experience that I had. I met, this was online, what have you, in ministry, I've met many people from all over the world, when they come to the US, I've met them, whatever. So, I knew online through MySpace, I knew, this brother named Felipe. Okay. And, from Mexico, and he's a minister in Mexico. And he was coming over to the U.S. He was coming over to my state, because he was going to be preaching. And I thought that was cool. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me meet you at the church. I didn't know until he told me, hey, I'm coming over. So anyway, so I go to meet him at the church that he was preaching at. Okay. And I had an interesting conversation with him. And I actually asked his permission. I asked his permission to do kind of a skit. So I asked his permission. So here's the skit to that.
Hola Felipe, ¿cómo está? How you doing, man? Wey, órale, ¿cómo está Josué? How you doing, my friend? Oh man, I just want to take this time to, wish you happy Cinco de Mayo. Feliz Cinco de Mayo. ¿Qué eso de Cinco de Mayo? What was that? Cinco de Mayo. ¿Qué es eso? What's that? What's that? Tú no eres mexicano. You're not Mexican? Pues sí, yes, I'm Mexican. Yo soy mexicano. ¿Qué tú estás hablando? Don't you celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Chacho, ¿qué es eso? ¿Tú no lo celebras? So why is it that Americans, so many Americans celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Wow, yo no sabía eso. I did not know that. Pues por la misma razón que siempre celebran algo, for the same reason that they celebrate something, because they want to get drunk. ¿Qué ese día? St. Patrick's Day, el día de San Patrick. They all get drunk. Eso porque quieren celebrar Cinco de Mayo. That's why they want to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, because they want to get drunk. Wow, I did not know that.
So it was a funny situation. It was a funny situation because, again, I didn't know. And, after he said that whole thing about drinking, right? He actually explained to me that it's not even a national holiday in Mexico. A lot of people in Puebla, okay? A lot of people in Puebla, or in the area in Puebla and in the area surrounding Puebla, they may celebrate it, right? They may celebrate it, but not every Mexican celebrates it in Mexico. Or at least people from where he was from, didn't celebrate it. Like you're not gonna find a Oaxacan celebrating, Cinco of them. It's like in a lot of the major cities where people visit, right? You go to even in Oaxaca, or you go to other like Mexico City or whatever. When you have white Americans going to Mexico on Cinco de Mayo and what have you, they'll make a big party because that's part of the tourist trade. But as far as like the actual people themselves, they don't celebrate it. Maybe some of the people in Puebla they do or whatever as a pride thing, but that's about it. So this was an opportunity for me to learn. It was just like when I was like, hey, yeah, how are you? What have you? And but if we don't take the time to really listen to each other and learn from each other, not only are we going to be as ignorant as I was at the time, as you saw from the skit, but we're going to, all you see is nothing but anger and 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 fighting and anger. Just chill out and actually listen to people. Whatever side you're on, if you're right or left, or you're like me in the middle, listen to everybody. When it comes to spiritual beliefs, right? If you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're Buddhist, you're Taoist, you're Wiccan, you're Satanist, or you're not religious at all, right? You're atheist, whatever. Just listen and learn. Listen and learn something new. If anything, it's just to learn something new. Now, at the same time, and I'm going to say this mainly to the Christian folk and even to a lot of the Muslim people that I know, when you're talking about your faith to somebody else, don't do it with the intention of, I'm going to try to convert them. No, just do it with the intention of, I'm just going to teach them because they asked me. And you'll you'll learn a lot from them. They'll learn a lot from you. That simple. It's that simple. And going back to where I started this with the cancel culture stuff and whatever, we will not need. We will not need it. We, yes, there are sometimes we do need cancel culture. Like if there's a company that's racist and they're doing a lot of racist shit, yeah. If there's a company that disrespects a mother because a mother's breastfeeding her child, and no, you gotta take that shit to the back. No, absolutely, but let's take things one situation at a time. And then and to the people to the left that are part of the cancel culture, just stop listening. Stop listening to the leaders on the left that are telling you, no, just think for yourself. Now, if you feel that you have to boycott, if you personally feel, not because of what the leaders on the left and the leaders in the organization that you're a part of and whatever, but because you feel personally that, you have to boycott a business, any business, because you don't agree with what they do. Okay. But don't force other people to do it, to do it. Just you do it. You're good. So until next time, just remember, I'm Sway. I love each and every one of you. Peace.
It's just my opinion.